It's Kathy Kress again, and I am back with my Geriatric Care Management YouTube channel, and it's based on my new operations manual, my Geriatric Care Management Manual, which has been out for about 6 months, doing quite well. And I have 11 assessments in it that are very, very different than just your regular functional and health assessment. And one of them is a really interesting assessment, and it's called Quality of Life. And this is a kind of assessment that I learned from an excellent student of mine who now has a really thriving practice named Nina Herndon. And she got really interested in it and wrote a chapter on it in my book, handbook. I know, I hate to do this. I feel like Julia Child. The Handbook of Geriatric Care Management. Nina wrote the chapter in there, and I learned a lot from her. So let's start with a client. It's easy to teach you things if you just think of a human being. And this is an artist. She's 93 years old. And she's depressed and withdrawn. And she's been isolated from her family. And so one of her daughters, Marty, calls you and asks you, Miss Full Charge, remember you feel like you could do anything, and you can if you listen to me. And so you go to see this artist. We will call her Trudy. And she basically she feels like she has no connectiveness. She's totally mentally clear. She loves, pets, younger people. I mean, she's really, mentally clear, really smart, and would like to connect with a lot of, other stimulations. So you get her a cat, and she names the cat Edgar. And you also, get in touch with the daughter who's talked to you and hired you, and you say, well, you in your psychosocial assessment, you figure out all of the family, and there's a lot of family. They're really busy. But they just have to be told that it would really help if everybody connected together and started to visit their grandmother, even though she's mentally clear. She's even blogging. She has a blog. She says, so she's not totally alone, but, computers are kind of isolating. And so all the granddaughters and the daughters decide to visit, and so you've arranged that for her quality of life. And you've sort of helped with her creativity. She's an artist. She's had many, many shows. She's beautiful, beautiful art. And that's what you call stimulation of mind. Just because you're 93, there are people on the Supreme Court who are in their 90s. Women. So you really have to concentrate on helping with creativity. So you suggest to the daughters that they build a small studio. Now, a studio doesn't have to be really big. It can be sort of like a fancy shed. Some place where she can keep all her paints and her art and feel like she's an artist again and get out of her house. And so the adult children and the grandchildren get together and they make that happen. And one of the granddaughters gets her an easel. And, she really hasn't gotten out and painted for a whole long time. I mean, people think, with older people that, you can cut them away from their joy. Well, she can sit and paint. She can even stand and paint. So she gets an easel. And you realize that she needs more social interaction. And so you get her involved in a book group. And, with most older people, a lot of younger people too, they can listen to books on audio. And you can just Google, your library. Your library actually has, Kindle books all the time. And the great thing about that is you can enlarge the print. And so in the book group, a lot of the conversation has to do with mothers because she's kind of a mother figure. And so she offers to paint a portrait of each of the people in the group's mother. Oh my God. And she's a great artist. So she's gotten involved, connected, with, this whole younger group, which was really important, her pet Edgar. So what is quality of life? It's different than quality of care. And that's what most geriatric care managers really focus on. Quality of care is improving the care that you get as you age, might be a caregiver, it might be technology reminding you about pills or your health. But quality of life, it's very different because you're improving your interaction or what gives life meaning to you. And older people, life still has to have meaning, especially at the end of our life. You really question, what's this all about? And where's my joy? And if you do a quality of life assessment, you can find people's joy. I once did one with a woman who was in a choir 40 years before, and nobody ever asked her, would that give you joy? And she then got involved in a choir. She had to use a wheelchair, but you can do this. So what are the benefits of a quality of life assessment? When stress and loss happen, which they do all the time with older people, either they're losing their health or, life happens. If your quality of life, and just think of yourself, if you're depressed, do you run? Do you walk every day? Do you make a list and say, I'm going to ride my bike every day? Do you do yoga? I mean, we all do this to try to improve the quality of our own life, but don't you want to do it for older people too? And you can reconnect with joy. And with this woman's life, it's not a religious, art is a spirituality for her. So she's reconnecting with the spiritual joy she really has in her life. And she can do the things she loves again, which is art. So at any age, don't we want to do this? So I will see you next time, and if you want to know more, go to my website, kathykress.com, and have a great day. As you can see, it's wonderful here.